Call the meeting to order at 7:02 PM.
Some,
Myself, Kip, Adele,
I don't know what he's,
Phil, Dave, Carrie via Zoom.
I found a lot of solar to a guy from Stanford.
Hi,
Hello.
he's sitting over
And
there.
it didn't turn out,
I don't know, this is
he
what I
didn't
saw.
put into it.
He's
You want me to
sitting
sit over
next
You
there?
gotta work.
Sure.
Okay.
All the lawns you got. This done, that done, and plus you have to have a pleasant personality. to
Yeah.
Doesn't have to worry.
Yeah.
get People in, because
Yeah.
Maryland's folks had people lined up for. We got the party.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. This is always a long one.
It shouldn't be. We'll just let him not over talk. I'll just shut him off if he gets
I wish you would.
way into. the-
Chatty.
Chatty. Yeah. All right, call the meeting to order. We're not seating any else.
Am I responsible?
I think the first thing I wanted to do, so I didn't forget it, is the tax collector sent us all the, basically the uncollectible taxes.
Mhm.
Yep. You have that printed out?
I do. Is that that one?
I don't think so.
And then,
Just didn't
yeah, the
ask for
last
now.
3 pages were just. Can't find, don't exist, deceased.
One second.
I have to actually do it. I don't have the email up. What's the final total that we're writing on? Or is it, oh, okay, 15,000. Does everybody have a chance to look that over?
Mhm.
Does everybody know what it is?
Mhm.
It's a list of delinquent folks that have not paid taxes or to delinquent properties.
It's delinquent taxes, folks or properties, but they've deemed them uncollectible.
Okay.
So
Looks like they're either out of state, deceased, out of business, invalid address. That's,
Well, none of us are on there, obviously.
Yeah.
no,
No. This is the
no,
ghost
because
sitting
then it would
here.
be writing off your taxes and that wouldn't be a factor. I don't think we would be the case of not being able to find us. So basically, it's just that they can't locate him, or they just can't get it. So it's in the amount of $15,923.22.
15,000 what?
923. Here you go.
Somebody want to make the motion to approve the
What is it considered a write-off?
collector's certification to the Board of Finance recommend transfer of uncollect, yeah, suspense list. If that does it, suspense list.
Do I make a motion to accept the suspense list?
Approve this suspense list.
So approve the suspense list?
Okay,
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
And just for the minutes, just put down the amount.
I did, that's
Oh,
why I
okay.
asked, yeah, and Kip gave it to me.
All right, I'll sign it and I guess put it in the box before I leave.
Okay.
Does that number seem high to you or low to you or?
It's kind of high, but she did say that they went back and they just, they've kept them on for a long time.
Hmm.
Doesn't really hit us with a big one. So I think it's acceptable. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
She kept trying with a number of those over the years and just had no luck.
So
So
how many years does that represent?
I'm not sure how far back the date goes. Probably quite a ways.
I don't know if she gave us the dates. Exact dates on them.
No, I think this was something else.
Oh,
This was, oops, sorry, total tax collected.
yeah.
So Tracy, how long do we as a town wait to do something if somebody's delinquent on taxes? Do you know?
We've always left that up to the tax collectors. I mean, if somebody's delinquent, they move fairly quickly to try to recover the money. I don't know the stages, times and levels of collection, because we kind of leave that to the tax collector. And they've always, since I've been here, the tax collectors have done an outstanding job of
Yeah, I think so
collecting.
too. That number seems low to me. That's what I asked, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know her exact time frame of and exact course of action for it, to be honest.
Depends on how the taxpayer reacts and if they work with the tax collector or not on a payment plan. If they refuse to cooperate, communicate, then the process gets moving quicker.
Oh, good, okay. All right.
There's some people that she's worked with for many years and they get to a point where they don't cooperate anymore, don't try to, even try to make any payments. She will start the process of collecting those taxes, by whatever means. to dispose of them.
Okay.
Okay. Rob Beventer from the fire department's here. Where's Michael?
He's not here.
I got that.
We like
He said he was coming.
Sitting right here. you
Yeah.
just-
He's not gonna be able to make it.
He's the ghost.
I started seeing some greatly disappointed.
I'll let him know.
No, because when I saw him, he said he was definitely coming to stand up for the fire department. As you were. Budget,
Mhm.
Pull up the,
do you want to switch it over and?
share your,
Oh,
You wanna
you
put it
share
on
your
that?
screen.
just share your screen and it'll come up there.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure, God, I gotta go left, right.
No, you don't need to
Just do it on the Zoom.
do it on the Zoom.
I do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
Come on, kid.
No, I've avoided doing Zoom meetings as much as humanly possible, so I broke this now. Thank you.
Mhm. Click on that, I guess.
It's not letting me click on anything.
You click on this. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Anytime now.
There it is. Hey. Give up on technology. Okay. I mean, there's no change. Except for internet is down.
There was a couple increases.
So I'm just going
Yeah.
from top to bottom.
Oh, okay.
So clerk, fuel, oil, telephone, internet's way down.
Why's
God,
that?
how'd you do that?
Fiber link,
Okay.
fiber optics.
Electricity, supplies. Is software or no? Yeah. Cost of software. You went up $50.
Mhm.
What software?
Our firehouse software. It's what we use to report our incident reporting to the state.
Okay.
Access maintenance, compressor service, air pack tool service. Blade change. Meter calibration, that's up 500. Nothing up on building maintenance. Truck maintenance is the same. Radios and pagers.
Can I ask a question about the truck?
Mhm.
At the last meeting that I attended, there was the talk about that you had to buy a new truck.
Yes.
Is that a sudden thing?
So,
No, we're kind of being forced, well, for a couple reasons. One, the cost of a new truck. The cost of a new truck is around $700,000. That being said, if we don't purchase it this year, every year after this year, or this coming budget year, it's gonna go up 20%.
Really?
And how
So
old,
that-
how old is your truck?
Truck's 30 years old.
Oh. Oh, that's a shame.
all right, can we get back to the budget? Just,
No, but I have one more question. Wasn't
we get-
there, this is in the budget, that, wasn't there money saved in 2000, just when I came on the board, 2016 or something? Money had been put away for years for a new truck? Or am I just inventing this?
This is before the MFC came about.
I can answer it, but I'm really tired of answering it.
Go for it.
There was never a line item activated for a truck.
Okay,
There was money put into capital during those years. Basically, the budget took about $1 million hit in 1 year and a half. So, and things happen with the capital. Some stuff was taken out of capital that shouldn't have been. I mean, all this is, if you want to look up those years, the audit reports will give you a quite an in-depth look. So a lot of the projects that were not, that would have been sort of penciled in, but weren't voted in to be approved, got shelved at the time, was some rocky times. I mean, I could go on for about an hour, but I think the audit reports would give you a clear indication as to what went on. But we lost 600,000 in education money, and, you know, had a education budget that went up 300,000, and then the next year another 250. So basically within 2 years, we were $1 million down on the budget. And
Ooh.
that's a big part of it. The other thing was just some of the, and this goes way back. Some of the way the finances and capital were handled didn't help the capital balance.
okay, so what you're telling me is that we're basically starting all over again, that we have to find $700,000 to buy this truck?
No, and that's why I just wanted to get to this budget, but when we'll get to the capital request, we have put in, we did do this, and it is a formal project. It is inked, as they say, that we put so far 250,000 away
Okay,
for the fire truck. There's some different ways to go about this, and that's why I just kind of wanted to get through this budget, and then we could spend a little time talking about the fire truck with Rob,
okay.
if that's okay, unless you guys want to do fire truck. mid-budget.
No, let's go
let's
through.
just go through
Oh, next
this.
one.
Okay,
So for the 30,500, how many trucks is that maintenance?
That maintains all of them.
I know,
Oh.
how many trucks is that? Just curious.
Let's see, there is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 total.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5, if you include the vote.
Okay. And that's just keeping them.
They're planning on
going.
using it.
Yeah,
to head it out.
There hasn't been an increase in that line item for a while.
Right.
Pretty much stayed flat.
okay, new equipment is flat. Hose is flat. Truck diesel is flat.
So I know diesel's gone up. Is that, do you anticipate that going up or?
Well, I'm sure it's gonna cost us more, but I don't think we're gonna go over.
Truck equipment, gas,
Mhm.
you guys requested 1,000, it went up to 15, or no, you guys,
We requested.
all right, you requested an extra 500.
Right. Yep.
1,000 last year, so it's up 500. Is that just with the rising cost of fuel?
Rising cost of fuel, more training. Guys are going out of the area for training, so they take the pickup truck.
How many members do you have in the department?
Interior guys. I'm gonna say 15 certified,
Mhm.
NFPA firefighter 1 certified.
Right.
Overall. Geez, gotta be 40.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Training up 1,000.
So just because more guys?
Training's gone up.
Oh,
Cost for somebody to get their firefighter 1 cert is $1,150.
Wow.
do they have to do that every year? or-
No, it's a one-time.
Gear up by 500.
Mhm. That's an increase just because of cost of, the cost of it's going up.
Cost of the training.
Recruitment,
Oh, gear, but yeah,
Gear.
gear, yes.
recruitment is flat. Physicals are what they are. Emergency medical supplies didn't go up. Insurance didn't go up. OSHA hasn't gone up. So overall, your budget is up a whopping
$2,000 roughly. Not quite, but-
1,700, well, about 1,700.
And what is it compared to? I'm just asking questions here, but what is it compared to actuals from last year?
That I don't have handy.
If you go back,
Guys,
yeah,
Guys.
2021.
Hello,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
we do this every meeting. If you look at column D,
yeah,
that's last year's actuals
okay,
Oh, that's last year's actual. Sorry about that.
on every page.
okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So is that? Column,
That's because I'm used to it being over here. They rearranged the artwork.
sorry, Rick, what,
So which one are we looking
Column
at for actual?
B you said? Or-
D,
Oh,
D.
D.
D is in dog. I thought he said B too, and I'm going,
The adjusted, so
Yeah,
last year in gas, he spent $1,400. This year he's asking for 1,500.
okay,
So that one went up 500. I mean, he's had good news in electricity. Again, a lot of his line items are pretty flat, which is good. I mean, he did have some that have good news. But all in all, I mean, he's just the $500 he's asking for are really just the increases
Right.
of what the new stuff costs.
I'm just gonna ask this. Physicals and hepatitis. You were down last year. Do you expect it to be back up to 4,000?
It's always nice to have a cushion just because if there's an influx or we get multiple people that come into the department, they have to have a physical. It doesn't matter if you're an interior guy, exterior guy,
I'm aware of that.
you know,
the fire department pays for that?
don't pay for that.
That's on it.
Town. basically. Any other questions on this, on there?
What's
the
OSHA mandate? OSHA mandate is our hose testing, ladder testing, flow testing on our air packs. Let's see, what else? Click on it. Our compressor, the air testing for our compressor, the air that we put in our bottles. Our SCBA needs to be tested. Yep.
So from actuals to requested is what, $1,400 or 14,000? 15,000,
What they ended up spending last year was 101. This is what we gave them last year. It was 113. They spent 101 and it looks like medical supplies, physicals. Truck diesel. Hose was a little down.
You try to
The
like
30 is
just buy
closed.
new hose every year?
Try to.
you refurbish the old hose?
Don't.
No?
Yeah, recruitment, they didn't spend any.
If it springs a leak, it's,
Well, that I know, but there's a lot of outfits that make stuff out of the hoses and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I can send it,
So
Yeah.
I don't really have.
That's what,
but you don't get anything.
yeah, that's why I was asking, you know, yeah.
Yeah, they make backpacks, wallets.
Yeah, yeah, all kinds of stuff, dog collars, you
Yeah.
name it,
Yeah.
they make it, yeah.
But I've seen worse. Anybody else have any questions?
I have one more question about the amount of people. If someone wants to become a fireman in Morris, do you just have to be a resident and you can't say no to them? So that's why you have 40, 50 people that are applying, and is that how it goes?
Anybody in town can apply. Any person that lives in a border town that directly borders Morris can apply.
Don't you have to live within 3 miles of the firehouse?
No,
No?
any border town.
Because I thought it was an old standing rule, you know, but I mean, that was, I'm going way back too. so,
That could be the old,
The old times.
But you have to vote people on. I mean, they have to. be-
right. There's an interview process.
Yeah.
Voting.
You don't just walk over there and say, I want to be a firefighter and
Right.
sign a piece of paper and you're in.
Eat that little black ball.
Yeah, past the
I'm just wondering if I can get on that gate. Do interior, exterior.
Yeah,
So basically, there is a process
Sure.
that you have to go through. Does that answer the?
Yeah, so you could end up having 100 people there. And there's nothing, if they're good, you can't say no to them. And we have to buy them gear and get them walkie-talkies, all of that.
We don't say yes to everybody just because of how the interview process goes, just like any job.
Yeah.
But most of the time, yes, we do say yes.
But
Okay.
at 40 volunteers currently,
Hmm.
are you looking for more
We're
or?
always looking for more,
Okay.
always.
But you said you had how many? I mean, I know you got guys in training.
Mhm.
I know different people fill different parts, pieces, whatever. So interior firefighters who can go out and go in,
Mhm.
how many are there?
About 15.
About 15?
People.
So you have 40 members in different various,
Those are the people, those are the guys that need the gear, the,
the backpacks and all that kind of.
right,
Yeah.
yes,
Air packs, yeah.
the back,
so 40 members, you're not just going out and buying the entire fireman.
we have spare gear that they get issued.
Oh, okay. All right.
Might say Ebner on the back.
So basically, when it comes to the gear, to get where we get into the more expensive gear, you have to be to a certain,
Right,
certified.
You're held to an NFPA standard.
yeah, you don't just walk in and say,
An
"Well, you're a
OSHA.
firefighter, and then we give you a couple $1,000s worth of gear and say, have a good time.
And the gear's not good forever either.
No. It's 10 years.
10 years, you're probably-
That's the lifespan of a new.
I think what Carrie was getting at is you look at, you have 40 people and the
Right.
cost of gear and where, how does it, I'm just flushing out a little bit as to how it shakes out.
We did apply for the AFG grant, Assistance to Firefighters Grant, this year. We asked for about 50,000 to outfit everybody with in-date gear. But
Wow.
it's all subject to if you get the grant or not.
Right. But right now, the town's not buying 40 guys.
No.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I'm,
That's what you're getting at, right?
The line item gear, there's enough money in that line item to buy 2 full sets of gear a year. New
Expensive
gear.
expensive gear.
It's very expensive.
I think Carrie was asking about
Right, sure.
outfitting 40 guys with it.
Right.
And you guys do fundraising and all that stuff as well.
Got a roast beef dinner coming up,
Next, the 30th.
car show.
Handed all those hand sanitizer.
Yes.
So where does that money
Not to sell.
go into?
Company.
Just to do what with?
Well, we did increase our training budget to 5,000, so we're offsetting training. So we take fundraising money, offset budget, this budget a little bit. So we put 5,000 into training. We do purchase equipment, of course. If we see a piece of equipment,
Right. Is not.
see needed. I mean, we have a $2,500 equipment line item here. We go above that every year just out of company. That's why I always keep that, it's flat, 2,500. It's been like that for a
Right.
while. Because we offset
With the donation.
company money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So donations, fundraisers, that kind of stuff, what kind of ballpark figure you think you get every year, that kind of stuff?
With the mailer and everything, we're about, I'd say 15 to 20,000.
Are you happy with that or?
Oh, ecstatic.
Your boot collections.
Yeah.
Yeah. all that.
Oh, yeah, the Buffalo Fair boot.
Yeah,
Can't
but-
get past them.
Like this year, we
Right in the road.
took company money,
Yep.
20,000, allocated 20,000 of it to split the cost with the town for extrication tools.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, that was on last year's capital budget.
Rob,
Right.
did you apply for a grant last year or the year, whenever you first came on?
We did, this budget year is the only year that we applied for the AFG grant so far. We plan on applying every year. After this year, we also applied to the Thomaston Savings Grant or Thomaston Savings and the DEP. So far, we've done 3 grants this budget year we applied for, of which we've received all of them except for the AFG grant. We're still waiting to hear.
So in total, how much grant money are you going to get?
Well, if we receive the AFG grant.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up around almost 60,000, I would say,
Oh, my.
in grant money,
And that's
Wow.
go towards equipment for
equipment.
future.
Well, what we did with the Thomaston Savings Grant is we bought a mobile radio, which is a couple $1,000s for our boat. And the DEP grant, we're receiving money for a set of gear.
Mhm.
Right? And then the AFG grant is around $50,000 for everybody to have a in-date set, we'll say.
Right.
Hmm, okay.
I hopped over to capitals. We could go more in depth on the fire truck. Right now, just to recap, I look at an engine 5 replacement and we have $250,000 in capital for that now. We were gonna continue to put 250,000 out on this until we got to the 700 or 750 or wherever we needed.
When we came up with that number, the increases were minimal. They were 5, 6, 7% every year. With the whole COVID thing, manufacturing, materials, all that, that's where they come up with the 20%. And it looks like it's gonna stay that way. Unfortunately,
So when,
because we were right on track with the $125,000 per year. When we started to replace it in another, 4 or 5 years from now.
Mhm.
But 4 to 5 years from now, if we replace it, it's gonna be well into the millions probably.
But you said 700,000 is what you're looking at now, right?
Yes. This coming budget year.
So to get from the 250 that we have to the 700,000, the game plan was, there was specified on the ARPA funds, $200,000. And then if we increased this year to 250,000, then that with the ARPA funds gets them to 700,000.
and you got a truck that's paid for.
And we got a truck, then they buy it this year.
Or you just take the money straight out of fund balance and pay off the balance of the fire engine. Instead of increasing capital.
Right.
But the key to this whole thing is the capital. The key to this whole thing is the $200,000 in ARPA funds. Which
Which is what?
here. To be continued.
Is that because we just don't know or?
It,
Committee still has to decide, right?
it's going back to the ARPA committee.
Oh, okay, right.
So it went to the ARPA, things went to the ARPA committee, went back to selectmen. Well, it went to selectmen, there was a public hearing. People wanted to kind of have everybody take a closer look at it. The selectmen have brought it back to the ARPA committee. So that's where it's at right now.
And what's the outlook
What's
of
the
that?
plan B?
You don't know, or?
You need to decide.
Is there a time frame for that or?
Next Thursday, 6:00.
Oh, it's good then. Oh, at that point?
No.
Then we have to go back to the board of selectmen.
So Tracy, that column G, it's at 250? It's 125.
This is for next year, so that would actually come out
Right.
if we did this.
Or
Then
unless-
we're done. That does it. Like this year is,
So you got 250 and 250, that's 500, right?
right. And then 200 from ARPA is 700.
That's a 700.
That's the 700. So depending on what happens at ARPA, I mean, there's still some room. If they take the whole 200 out, yeah, we probably we have to get real creative. to do
Yeah.
it. But I don't feel that they will go the whole 200 out. They may knock it down. I don't know. But I think that, you know, we can maneuver a few things if it goes down a little bit from ARPA.
Because you have the fund balance, right?
There's some money in the fund balance. There's some
Yeah.
different tax we
Capital
can
and
take.
all that.
I don't think it kills it. If we don't get
Right.
the 200, it might not kill it. If we don't get anything, it may kill it. You know, if we only get 100,000 from ARPA, it may kill it. You know, I mean, maybe within $25,000 to $50,000, there could be some other options on the table, but I don't know. I mean, it would be nice if ARPA was done and we knew we had 200,000, we could do it and say, yep, easy done.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the final outcome of ARPA is gonna be.
Well, it sounds, Tom, like you have another vehicle you can pull out of money, you can pull out of some other fund. Is that true? Or is that
Or
for this? I mean, if we don't know.
there's over 500,000 above what, I guess, the guidelines for the fund balance. There's a extra money in the fund balance right
Right.
now that can be utilized.
I think at the 14%, which is the high side of it, there's 542 is what it came out to. So there is, like I said, there's
Other ways to do that.
done. I mean, I don't, my sense is that it won't be taken out of the ARPA funds. I think it was pretty popular. They may cut it down a little bit. I mean, I think part of the ARPA was going back to see if more people can get serviced with the funds, is my guess.
Yeah.
But they're gonna meet next week.
So it's basically, do you pay for something in full or do you partially pay for, right, the ARPA?
Well, yeah, I mean, right
Declare
now,
not to
if
pay.
with the ARPA funds and having the money we have available,
Right.
this is like our one shot to do it. I'm just gonna say, this is our one shot to do it, because I've been around long enough.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
Well,
Carrie
this is-
asked, oh, we put money away before. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna be putting it away for years.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, you can put it away in 5 years from now, you can have that tsunami again.
Right.
Where you're all of a sudden looking for $1 million, and guess what? Now you're not funding fire trucks. So my feeling is, and I said this before, this is our golden shot to do it,
I
in
agree.
my opinion.
Yeah, I think-
And I've sat here for 10 years.
No, I agree with what you're saying.
If it does get front loaded, if it does get front loaded, we'll say, there is a percentage that is reduced because you pay up front,
Right.
reduce in price.
So how long does it
Doesn't
actually
need
take?
that 500,000.
to Buy a fire. truck? You want to get
Pretty
it.
much,
If-
I'm kidding.
How long does it take?
Yeah, if you order one this week, how long do you get one?
Well, it depends on the manufacturer, of course. Anywhere from 13 to 15 months, one manufacturer, all the way to 18 to 24 months, another one.
But the price is locked in.
Yes.
So you put out your specifications, they tell you it's gonna cost $750 or something.
Mhm.
You say, okay, I'll buy it. You gotta wait a year and a half before it comes to Morris.
Just, yep.
Jeez.
Isn't
Louise.
that what Warren just went through about the same thing with their new engine? Yeah.
And when do you actually have to pay for it? Or do you put it?
If we pay for it up front, that's where the savings comes.
Right. So you make.
Figure about 2% per dollar.
Yeah, so you might come back and it was really only,
450. I mean, 650. Sorry.
if we do it all, pay for it up front, it might only be 650,
You're wishing it was 450.
Yeah.
which, you know.
That's still a pretty damn good deal, yeah.
But if we, well, one of the things is, of course, I caution waiting because I just know that the future can be a little volatile.
Yeah. I say we do it, but I'm the new.
We're not there yet.
Guy on the block.
You can say whatever you want. You're on the block now.
Yeah.
You can, well. It
Well, it just
the
seems
ARPA funds make it
financially-
doable.
Yeah, makes
Like
sense.
the most logical thing to do,
Fiscally
yeah.
responsible.
But we don't really know what's gonna happen tonight, so I guess we gotta wait right now.
I think we have to, I mean, you know, we can
Sort
plug
of
it in. We don't have
plug
to
it in.
finalize this. One thing that we did do is we started to put in 50,000 for engine 3. You could see this going way out. Because it's
Well,
only
that was my next
50,000.
question was,
We didn't put that in this year, so I mean, the fire department's willing to give back too to make this happen. They're pretty committed to making this happen. That's this. We normally, if we're funding that $50,000 for the next, long,
10 years.
plus.
Plus,
Mhm.
Well, I think it's obvious from their fundraising efforts, $15,000 or $20,000 a year, whatever that number was, he said, if the total budget's 115,000 and 15,000, which is almost 15%, say 12.5% of what their total budget is, they're coming up with through their own efforts.
Right.
Then I think obviously they want to do this and they're saying, hey, we want to do it, but not only do we want to do it, we're showing you that we're doing a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
So not just asking for money. So that's what I like.
Yeah, and like I said, I think, I'm predicting the future, but I know that the fire truck was popular last time around. Will it get the full 200? I don't know. But it also is a savings too. When you're looking at the ARPA funds, 200,000 is right, that's 200,000 the taxpayers aren't coming up with.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of a win-win.
so plug it in, see what happens.
Oh, I did, and I plugged it.
Okay.
It's been plugged.
And engine 3 is got what? How many more years you figure? It's got another 10.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
We just refurbished it.
Yeah.
some-
Right. We bought time. We bought some time.
Yeah.
10 years? Yeah. I'll give you a little history on engine 3. It's a 1987 Kenworth. It has about 20,000 miles on it. It has 1,100 hours on it.
Just a baby.
It's a baby. Yeah. The only problem is its age, but we can mitigate some of that stuff. We'll be just fine. And I don't know anything about any of these engines. So engine 5, what does that do?
Engine 5 is our first due, we'll call it. It's first due to everything except car accidents and brush fires. It's set up for fire attack.
What's the
Investigations.
It's the vehicle.
It's the primary.
Right, first.
Right, it's the primary piece.
I mean, there are some other things that they're on the ARPA list and they're sort of tagged. But.
Right.
I think a lot of our capital will depend on what the ARPA list ends up looking like.
And when do we have to have a budget done by?
Plenty of time.
What's the deadline on that?
June 30th. We'd like to do it before then,
Obviously.
Yes.
but.
But we'll know ARPA before that, right, Tom?
Sure.
Rob, is there any possibility, like with the backlog of cars, that this is going to be something that could end up being 3 years down the road? 3 or more?
Oh, I know what she's saying, because, for example, if you go and order a new pickup truck now, you're gonna wait 1.5 years to get it. So she's asking, is it gonna take longer than,
Well, he explained that it's going to take.
Gary, it might take anywhere from 13 to 15 months, or it may be anywhere from 18 to 24 months. It depends on how the bid goes, how the quotes come out. I mean, I still have to go to the equipment committee with all this too, so,
Do you have spec'd out what you'd like to get?
I'm working
Oh,
on it.
you were working?
but I'm sure when you go to the commitment committee, you'll be like, this is when
Yes,
Recommend.
right.
you're not starting from scratch with you.
No,
Now, do you go to other committees? No. Do you have to get certain bids? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you get?
I'm getting
bids?
3 bids.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I meant to
3
ask. Yeah,
bids.
yeah, okay. I mean, not
I think
if it's a
that's-
Kenworth engine or a Freightliner engine or whatever,
That's policy.
Yeah.
3 bids.
Yeah.
Anything was it over 20,000? You have to get 3
Yep,
bids.
yep.
If available. I mean, are there 3?
There's 3.
Might run
There'll
into,
be 3.
there's only 2 people in reasonable distance that make fire trucks, but it's, 3 bids. Any other questions?
Me? No.
Good.
The board? Any other questions for Rob?
No,
Is everybody on board with
Yeah.
try to make the fire truck happen?
definitely.
I think so.
Yep.
Especially if it's 20% more next year.
Yeah.
So do we need a motion on that?
If we wait a year, it goes up to 840.
Right.
Wow.
And then another 20% more than the year after.
So it'll be 30 years before we do it again.
Right. It's almost like a stop the bleed thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And just when you get rid of it, someone's gonna pay something for that, right?
something, yes. Don't know yet.
And that's on a whole different sheet.
That's my next venture to get after getting the specs and everything.
Get the new one first, is what you're saying, before you get rid of the old one?
Because
That's pressure.
once it's, we still have to use it while it's getting built. So
Sure.
I have plenty of time to find somebody some way to.
With some of
sell
the
it.
engine 3 stuff we get maybe funded by a trade-in or whatever.
The problem is that manufacturers are old, it's old equipment. It's considered old. I don't look at it as old, but they look at it as old. I mean,
You have different standards.
but, yeah, they don't really don't wanna
Not gonna
talk to
spend,
you.
they're not gonna spend $200,000.
No.
Who's on the equipment committee? That you have to,
Well, there's, well, myself, Tom, Kyle, Rosenbeck, and then what's his name? Tom Graham. But I abstain when it comes to this.
well, of course. Of course,
Have to.
yeah.
I drove it, it's my fire truck. So hard for it. All right, if there's nothing else, I mean, we can let Rob hang out or you can run.
I hang around for a little while. Listen,
Back to that tab, I think we're.
What, who, which,
Fire department tab.
Tracy, I've lost the screen, so I'm going to go off and come back in.
okay,
Okay? So just continue.
okay. So, I mean, I can fill this in if everybody, is fine with that.
Yeah. We just put her down?
Yes,
Yeah. That's only. Right.
Right, I don't have anybody else coming in tonight because I was kind of blown off by one member, but next week, I'm gonna ask the board's opinion. The ARPA meeting is at 6 next week
At this time?
on Thursday night. They're zooming, right? They're using the Zoom equipment. They're here.
Yeah, and we could probably set up someplace else if we have to.
Well, do we want to attend that? Is that what you're getting at?
No, what I'm saying is, do we want to change our meeting time or think they're gonna be done in an hour?
I don't know, Tom, is that,
There's a lot of people on the committee.
All right, well, I'm gonna be at the ARPA meeting. I think it will probably be over an hour long. There's no way of knowing for sure.
how much money is in that total for ARPA?
Total 600 and.
Yeah, that's more than that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're gonna be more than an hour.
I mean, we can cancel and we need to pull a special meeting in as we get,
Or have our meeting a little later, 7:30 maybe,
Or
have one-
even 8 o'clock.
or 8 o'clock, you know?
wait a minute, I know when it's.
I don't know if you saw
Well,
the look on Phil's face, but I could feel the daggers flying.
I mean, I'm still the one awake
I mean,
at 3 o'clock
I
in the
just
morning,
looked at
so.
Phil and went,
We were here.
yeah, that works.
Till 9:15 last week.
9:15.
Well, keep in mind though, I mean, we can have special meetings too. I could call a Tuesday night meeting or what, as long as we can use the Zoom stuff or whatever. I think one of the things we're gonna do tonight is just go through and say who else we want to bring in for sure and make a list of that.
Okay.
And then we can get a feel from that. So,
But I think,
I don't know if you want to start a full meeting.
thank you.
Who's that?
Denise.
Oh,
If you guys want to
I
start.
didn't see a
before
body
meeting,
come through all of a
I think-
sudden.
Well, doesn't really. I'm just gonna guess he's not jumping up and down with that idea.
Well, I really don't think you're gonna get out of there in an hour. There's that much money involved. That's-
Right, I agree.
I may get out there in 10 minutes, but I don't think it's gonna be an hour. So I would rather have you do it the following week if you don't want to do it later. Next Tuesday or so, or the Tuesday after.
I think based on that meeting,
Then we'll know what the hell we're
the
doing.
general sense of what people are
Exactly.
leaning towards. which
Yep.
will Help influence
Yep.
our decisions.
Does that make sense, Tracy, to you?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it, I thought about it, and then I said, well, I'll ask you guys what you think. We can see what we get through tonight too, and then see where we're at. See who we want to call in, so we don't feel
Well, if we.
the need to call, everybody in, or do we want to call everybody in? We can make that determination going through it tonight. Because don't have
Well, I
anybody
think we
else
need to
coming
have
in.
the Board of Finance,
Board of
jeez.
Finance,
Yeah, we gotta come in and account for ourselves.
we're here. We can do ours tonight.
The beach and rec is what I was getting at.
Yes.
I have the list of the registrar of voters reached out. They wanted to come in and talk to us. I think we want to talk to the pension committee,
Yes,
beach and rec.
Mhm.
Transfer station's a big one, but they're really not complicated.
So it's 4.
Do we want the transfer station to come in? You want to hear from the,
I mean, really, what is Greg's pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's not like he's
So
asking
If
for.
there's
well,
stuff
let me just
going
go down the
on.
list and
Yeah.
let's just say.
Well, I was saying, if next week, if we want to do if we want to postpone it, I don't know, till 8 o'clock, we're not going to have somebody come in. We could regroup after the ARPA meeting just to say. what
Are
do we
we
think?
gonna be playing catch up next week?
I don't really think that starting at 8 o'clock and playing catch up is. a good
We're
idea.
gonna skip.
Are we gonna, is it gonna put us behind if we skip
Yeah.
next week? I don't know. Let's see what we get. I would say, let's see what.
I'd
we
like to
get.
stay even with the board here.
What?
I'd like to stay even with the board
Yeah.
and finish the
Yeah, agreed.
business and proceed.
All right, let's go through
Well,
the,
let's just,
tabs.
let's just do it and see where we end up and we'll table this conversation at the end of the meeting. Capital non-recurring. We'll keep that open for now.
Yep,
Phantom Lake Authority, $50.
I think we're good there.
yeah.
Contingency, I'm gonna keep open for now. There's a lot of factors that are gonna go into it. 8,300 for Sandy Beach Commission. They've been there forever. Is everybody okay with that?
I have a question about that 8,300. Why do we, the town of Morris, give to this private beach club $8,300?
Is there a tab for that?
Oh. I mean, this Sandy Beach is sort of been a part of the community since a long time. I think the Sandy Beach Commission was started before my time. I mean, before my time of being a kid, there's been a Sandy Beach. So
It's a joint effort.
it's a joint
Town of
effort,
Morris and town of Litchfield.
Yeah.
Sandy Beach.
and I'm just trying to.
And there's
figure out-
another joint effort too that Litchfield and Morris participate in. So.
Well, the area is, it's owned by
White
White Memorial.
Memorial. So it's actually a partnership between the three.
Mhm.
And
Is Morris get any tax money from them?
Memorial, yes. They're one of our largest taxpayers.
The Sandy Beach?
No, the Sandy Beach is a by-town commission from people from Litchfield, people from Morris. Litchfield pays 2/3 of the budget for the Sandy Beach Commission. Morris pays 1/3. That's based on population, and it kind of plays out on attendance too of passes that are sold throughout the year. And it's been that way, like Tracy said, I took swimming lessons there when I was probably 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know,
Five.
There's always been a Sandy Beach since I've been alive.
They have a very
Um,
famous swimming classes evidently for
yes, they
kids.
do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, It's
And I,
supposed to be great. But I'm just wondering, what does the $8,300 go to?
Well, they have lifeguards that they have to pay, beach maintenance, building maintenance. They've been doing a lot of improvements over there lately, especially in the past few years. I know we did fund out of capital new septic system, but they've been improving the shower area, the changing rooms, the area where they serve like ice cream and candy, things like that. They have to bring in sand, fix the beach. There's a lot of work.
Docks?
Yeah.
Okay.
The docks, yes.
They have a multitude of volunteers that work over there. Sandy Beach
I
has been around
consider
here.
Sandy Beach part of Morris.
Oh, I really do. I mean, I
And more.
don't know how many hundreds of
Morris,
right
yeah.
how to swim there. And it's just, I was chairman of Sandy Beach for over 10 years, many years ago. And $8,300 to me is like the best
Best deal ever.
deal we can make. I wasn't a kid in Morris, but I know a lot of kids that learn how to swim there. And
I don't know what year the commission was formed.
I never thought of it as a private beach club. I kind of thought of it, you got to pay to go there. You got to buy a pass to go there. Or you got to buy a daily pass. You can buy a seasonal pass or daily pass. So,
That helps offset some of the costs as
Right.
well.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I mean, do you know when the commission was put together? Do you know when about that the Sandy Beach Commission was put together?
I think in the 60s or something.
Yeah, 60s, 70s.
The beach was run by White Memorial previously.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ran the beach, hired their own people.
Okay.
And then at some point, White Memorial decided they want to be involved in that, and the towns came in.
My kids went in the late 60s.
Yeah.
That would have been my introduction to Sandy Beach.
Jack Comparisi was one of the,
Lifeguards.
So we're the 70s kids.
Lakewater puts their in.
Mhm. And.
All
I don't
right,
know.
Town of Morris, 401A. That's replacing the pension, right, for new hires?
So that'll help reduce further future costs or?
It's a different plan. Everyone's going away from the traditional pension plan. This is a 401A with a matching contribution. Obviously, the more the employee puts into it, the more they get out of it too.
Right. But that kind of eliminates the long-term pension.
Well, yeah, right. Rick, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't need an actuary for the 401A?
No, you don't. No,
Yeah.
that's a big savings alone. Because everyone's managing their own money.
Right.
So there's two new employees on it. 3822.
Mhm.
All right. Morris Fire Company pension. It's up
That's all-
$100 from last
Oh, I
year.
was just gonna say, wait a minute.
That's Rob.
Yeah, no, I can't, it's, even with my glasses, it's still kind of hard to read. Gotcha, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just have to go back and forth between the things. I mean, that's up 100.
Yep.
Rick? You there, Rick?
Yes, I'm here.
Morris
Yes.
Volunteer Fire Department pension.
Yeah.
I thought that was done, funded, history.
Mary does not want me to speak for her.
Okay, fair enough.
And even though I know the answers, she doesn't want me to speak for the commission.
Okay, fair enough. Economic development, a
Wait a
whopping.
minute, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I thought-
skipping the pensions.
What's that? 196,000?
Yeah,
That's the pension. I'm
For
gonna
what?
have the
what the
pension.
hell? Way to go
Because
from
we're gonna have the pension
125,000.
commission come in and speak. to it.
Thank you,
That's why I'm
okay.
skipping it.
I mean,
Um,
that's a big jump.
so.
Yeah.
But we don't have the pension commission here and Rick's been put on notice that the pension commission wants to speak to it. Economic development, $500.
Yep.
Okay. Phantom Lake weed control,
Okay, you know what I'm going to say.
of course we do, go for it.
So it just every year, I don't know what the expression is in English, but it really just gets to me. So White Memorial pays how much, Tom?
I'm not sure. I know they have in-kind services or matching services, whatever way you want to put it. Because
Well,
their
they have-
biologist is working on this.
So they had, it's something like, they 13.5 or something like that. Litchfield pays nothing. And,
No, Litchfield's paying.
oh, they are paying this year? They paying, gone back to
They
paying
paid
12?
last year too. I'm not sure exactly. Was it 10 or something? Last year,
I didn't know they were paying it.
So then why are we paying 30?
because the expenses.
But I mean, if Litchfield's going to contribute 10, why is Morris contributing 30,000?
Morris has picked up, I mean, obviously Litchfield just started paying again. They didn't pay for many years.
No,
We have-
they paid 12,000 when I came on the board in 2000 and the last
Litchfield did?
2016. They were,
Litchfield did?
Litchfield did, and then they stopped.
I didn't. No, they stopped before then.
Yeah, originally it was White Memorial, Bam Lake Protective, Litchfield,
Yeah.
Morris. And I think originally it was all $25,000 a piece between White Memorial, Litchfield and Morris.
Yeah.
And Bam Lake Protective put in whatever they could. Then during a selectman's term in Litchfield, they decided not to fund it. Obviously, Morris gets the most benefit out of Bantam Lake, considering it's like 27% of our tax revenue is on the lake itself. So a healthy lake is a healthy grand list for the town of Morris. And the lake needs help. And luckily, we're working on a very excellent watershed study right now, or hopefully to enact some of the things to help improve water quality on Bantam Lake.
I still don't think we should be paying so much more than, and we're supposed to be the poor town.
And 2/3 of the lake is in Morris.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you
But
got 2/3 in Morris, but.
Fund them at your own peril.
Yeah.
but the weed poisoning doesn't even come to the beach that we pay for. It doesn't
What do you
come
mean?
to the Morris Beach. It starts further up. It starts at the boat, what's the name of the club? The boat club.
E Club?
They do weed control all over the lake.
Yeah.
They did. And I mean, in all the weed areas, I
And
got
it's
shoot off the lake a
It's a
couple times.
natural
this
lake
summer.
that's dying and they're doing their best to keep it.
it's also not just weed control, it's the blue-green algae control, the copper sulfate that has to be done usually twice a year to
Right.
make it swimmable and
Manageable.
manageable for people. And it doesn't stop at the lake. They go up the river for the fanwort weed to eradicate that from the river as much as they can. So there's quite a lot involved. It'd be very good if people perhaps sat in on a Bam Lake Protective Association meeting. It's very informative.
Mm.
And
Still-
we've had them in, I mean, they fundraise too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They get grants.
They get grants, they fundraise. We've had them in, they're more than, happy to bring materials in.
Sure.
We can have them in again. It is it's charitable. And
Jamie Fisher from White Memorial would be excellent to speak to people. A wealth of knowledge.
Didn't we have George Knockline?
He's no longer involved as the biologist. Jamie kind of took his spot.
Okay.
I mean, I think Bantam Lake is big part of Morris.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Tom, that you said, I never heard that before. This is the way I take this. 25% of our tax base is on the lake.
I was told it's about 27.
27, you said, yeah.
or it could be tax
That's
revenue.
Tax revenue, that's incredible. So for
Those are the big,
ticket.
big.
big houses, yeah.
Tax
Ticket houses.
payers.
So for every $100 in taxes, $27 of it comes from around the lake. That's 27%, correct? Or
Yeah.
if my math is right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a big nut. So I mean, I don't want to pay $30,000 either, but if you listen to that fact alone, I'd never do that. That's incredible.
And the lake has always been kind of on this teeter.
Yeah,
If you don't maintain it,
yeah. Well,
it'll get really bad, really fast, and then those property values are.
And there's years it's been really bad. And
Yeah.
Years it's been better. I mean,
I heard that everybody's, in the old days, everybody's septic waste to go into the lake.
yeah, I mean, it's had its moments.
Whoa,
Yeah.
It's also it's a natural lake.
Yeah,
And it's, has a life cycle and they're really, protective is keeping it
keep it cooking. Yeah, that's good.
cooking.
That's good. All right, we'll have to, I guess we'll talk about that again.
I mean, we can go back to this. I've popped in the 30,000 now. Does anybody?
I have no problem with 30,000.
I do, but I
do.
will.
They're a big voting block.
So Carrie,
Very big.
just
scary
out of
voting
curiosity,
block.
what would you not fund that at all?
No, I would fund it, but I'm very glad to hear that Litchfield is now putting money back into it. It was very irking to me that White Memorial cut their down to half of what they were paying. We were paying more and Litchfield wasn't paying anything. So now that Litchfield is paying, I would like to everybody to pay the same amount. That's all. But you guys all, the way one of the first meetings I went to, the example I gave was, I'd love to live around the lake, but I can't. I decided we couldn't afford to live around the lake for tax reasons. So let's say I build a swimming pool. I build my swimming pool and I get taxed on the swimming pool. And then 3 years down the road, my swimming pool cracks. I'm not going to ask the Morris taxpayers to help me pay for my swimming pool. I pay taxes on that swimming pool. So I feel the same way about the lake. And that's how I look at it. So the people around the lake, it's what you do when you get waterfront property. That is something you're involved in, and then you have to deal with the cleaning of it or whatever it needs to be done. So yes, I would definitely fund something, but I would not be funding so much more than everybody else. So that's my thought.
I still think 30 is a good number. I still think 30 is a good number.
Yeah.
Because obviously living in a lake, your taxes are going to be higher because you have waterfront property.
Well, and the waterfront property owners have to maintain the coast,
Right.
Their property. If a
Right.
retaining wall goes down, they have to replace that. So they do maintain
Yeah.
their property.
30,000 is less than taxes on one dwelling.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good,
Yeah, some of those.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Way more than
Huge.
$30,000.
Oh, God, huge.
So,
Okay, Tom, that was a very good point. I still am going to stick with my 25, but I think that is a very good point.
yeah.
I wouldn't let anyone else go boating in your swimming pool either.
You're only gonna pay
Well
taxes if it's
said.
in the ground.
We already pay for the sellers over east
Yeah.
because they failed and our tax dollars are going to them. I couldn't figure that one out.
What sellers? What
What are you talking
I-
about? What sellers?
And over in the eastern part of the state, they put some
Oh,
concrete.
Oh,
down.
yeah, I thought you meant East Morris. I'm like, wait a minute.
What the
I like the same base.
Something else that you like.
The concrete.
Concrete.
No, I thought you were talking about East Morris. No,
It's same here,
we
yeah.
don't cause no.
I think I'm sick of this now.
Cost y'all money.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can do our budget, Board of
You're
Finance.
just a crotchety old man.
This is exciting. It's very exciting, Board of Finance budget
It's changed drastically.
changed drastically. Anybody have any questions, input?
Did you talk to David, about the auditor?
I
wanna check with him on
so,
that.
talk to David. Why don't we put in the 20? I think you're right. I will finalize it with him.
Well, if you don't hire a clerk, you're all set.
Saving money, not hiring.
Yes, do you see anybody knocking down the door to hire a clerk?
Yeah,
It's
it's tough to fill.
What is it? What do we want a clerk to do?
Oh, the
Like what
See
I'm
everything
doing.
that I'm doing and
Yeah.
Dale's
He's
doing?
doing, yeah.
agendas.
The minutes have been really good lately, so we should keep you. You're a good price.
I know.
Oh, geez, thanks.
So we're
And even
looking,
though
we're
they-
looking to hire.
Even though I'm
a clerk.
relearning my spreadsheet because we
Yeah.
did this over here instead of over here, not my first rodeo on this thing. And Scott's coming back, by the way, so you know, he's familiar with the spreadsheet. So the only thing that was in question is the audit's been 20,000. I gotta reach out to our auditor, make sure it's still 20,000, but as Tom pointed out, we don't hire a clerk, we got the money in there. Plus.
Why
with
did you
Board of
put in
Finance.
23?
Huh?
Why did you just push out there 23? On the audit,
Which what?
go to the audit,
Oh,
and there, you put 23 in.
thank you. That's my question to myself. I would have figured it out.
The way,
I'm so tired.
Sorry?
the way inflation's going.
Well, geez, yeah, but
Could be.
It's my note to self,
Who's our auditor?
Dave.
About
Dave,
Dave,
Dave the auditor.
Dave, the auditor.
Hey, the order.
Plus, we just lost Chris, who's the one that dealt with the auditor, so. All right,
Well, that's a line item that has to occur, right?
well, that's
We
the
have
other
to
thing,
have
it's
an
sort of an unfunded mandate, so if he comes back and says, well, oh, I've gotta put in overtime on this, we have to fund it.
That's
I
good.
think we're safe. I'll double check, I've got note to self.
Okay.
So, anything else? You do a legal notice because we put in the
hearing, right?
public hearing, yes. I think if it goes to referendum, that's on you guys, but doesn't really matter.
Money.
Yeah,
we don't have any.
with the Board of Finance, for God's sakes. If we can't vote ourselves some money, if we need some, then
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Yes.
everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay. Board of Assessment Appeals, this one, do we need to have them in? We're asking for $1,000.
No.
No,
Okay.
I mean, it's all legal anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advice.
Skip over the fire department. They ain't getting any money.
What's the
Are we
difference between
skipping
the-
over? Or are we just deleting that? bucket?
Yeah. What's the difference between the fire department and the fire?
The fire
Marshal.
marshal.
Fire marshal bill.
Hold on, it's locking up on. Hold on. My computer might be cranky.
Like Phil?
I think it's talk to Phil. It's tired and wants to be done. Fire marshal, inspection, prevention, supplies, equipment and training. There's no change in this budget. They spent 87 last year, but is there anything we want to cut? I don't think so.
Probably reduced inspections. That too.
So what happens to the money that was allocated but not spent?
Goes back to the general fund.
Is
That
why- is
makes up
why-
part of the fund balance.
Right, okay, that's what it's.
So if it's not spent, then it just starts over. Nobody gets to roll it over from year to year.
Right.
They start all the, yeah, let's try. Goes back into the pot and you start over the next year. Any,
What happens when somebody goes over their budget? What happens with that money?
You're in big trouble.
you come before the Board of Finance
Tarring and.
Yep.
feathering.
tell us why.
Exactly.
and we go over the overages.
And
I
beat
mean,
you up and
Rick
ask you
wouldn't-
why.
We've been getting the emails with the, and I haven't really paid attention to them because it's still kind of early in the year. But when Rick sends out the monthly expenditure reports, read the email
Yeah,
because he's putting on there like if something went over. So we're aware of
And
it.
I read that, and that's why I'm wondering what, at the end of the year, let's say let's say Beach and Rec is under by $7,000. What
Yeah.
happened?
If they're under,
Yeah, they went over, I'm sorry, they went over by $7,000.
we have to approve a transfer out of contingency or Rick, at the end of the year, Rick will go through and he'll balance from line to line to line. And then we'll approve the overages. I mean, if something's going over and we see it, at any time, we can have a department in to question it. I mean, at this point in
And I
time.
think
it's
there's,
not-
Trace,
Right.
just quick, so there's a line item being over and then there's a department being over. Usually,
Right, yeah.
usually there's an issue, like last year we had, I think the low SIP in the over budget. And we had that one line item, so that department was over, so we had to use money from contingency to cover it. But individual departments can correct themselves with their own line items, so they're really not over.
Oh, I see. So they,
Not really.
I see. So
I mean, no.
I thought they weren't allowed to move things around, but if they are, then okay. Right.
No. We're line item budget. I mean, we've gone through this before.
Like if the library was over on one budget line item, they could reduce their books and raise their magazine or whatever, right?
No.
You can't do that?
Well, I mean, the Board of Finance does exercise discretion. The thing is with a line item transfer, there's only one transfer per year. Now, Rob's sitting here, so I'm gonna pick on him. Something happens and Rob goes over on fuel
Right.
and it's, you know, he's got 4 months left in the year. Goes to the Board of Finance.
He's getting ready.
No, I already know.
You're off the hook. I'm using an example.
Yeah.
Depending on the Board of Finance or whatever, I mean, if you know that line item is going to continue to, all right, I'll use trees. We had the ash boring beetles, they went over on trees,
Mhm.
knew it was gonna go over. So we didn't make any adjustments to it because they were gonna go over repeatedly. Once an adjustment's been made, it can only be made once.
Again, by a town meeting. You can make an adjustment after that at a town meeting.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
don't want to
I
make
guess
that
my
3
point
times
is-
at a town meeting. Take one bite out of the apple. We get
Yes,
one bite
but-
out of the apple. I'm stopping at our authority.
But like if you have a $50,000 budget and one of your line items goes over by $3,000, can you reduce the other line items to make up for that?
You have
That's what
to,
happens at the end of the year. The line items get shifted to cover the overages in one line item.
Right,
So that department ends up being still under budget.
right.
however, I would expect that information would come before the Board of
It
Finance.
does every year.
I would expect it would come, if somebody's over on a line by $3,000. I
Don't
would
wait till
expect
the end of
we'd
the
know,
year to tell
we'd
you.
know about it. We might not move on it.
They
but-
get it every month.
Right.
They're shown exactly what each department is.
Yes.
Right.
So what I was saying is that Rick is actually giving us an email that says this line item is over because of.
Right.
We won't necessarily move on a line item because there's one bite out of the apple for this board. What I'm saying is one bite out of the, we make one transfer. When we did the
Totaling all
library
of them.
last year and we transferred money to books, we just one shot. The board has one shot.
Has one shot for the entire budget or one shot per
Per line,
per line item?
we
Oh.
can make one transfer into a line item one time, which is why we are discretionary and tend not to do it till the end of the year, because once you go over, if something happens and it's 6 months in, and like the trees, all of a sudden they had to cut down a ton of trees and they were gonna continue to go over that line. If we made that line item transfer to cover that cost, we can only do that one time. Then it has to go to town meeting.
To do it again.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
That's the one bite of the apple rule
Yeah.
for the
And-
Board of Finance.
And then at the town meeting, it's decided where to take, so we were over by, I don't know, we were under by 10 or 15,000, where that's going to come out of, if it's going to come out of contingency or whatever. Is that what is decided at the meeting?
Well, we would try not to have that happen. So I don't think there's been
Oh,
in my history, there's been a need for a town meeting after a line item transfer in with the Board of Finance.
Okay,
But I don't know, do they take it out of fund balance time at that point in time,
Up to the Board of Finance where they can.
where
take
they
it.
can take it? Yeah,
You make
so
a
we-
recommendation to the town meeting.
yeah, we try to avoid that.
thank
All right,
you.
we done with fire marshal?
Yep.
Beach and rec we wanted to have in.
Yep.
Yep.
We did
Definitely.
library. Oh, it's Zoom meeting.
Do we need to have the library in? They gave us so much information.
They
She
were,
was already here.
We're
Oh,
last
they were
week.
there- oh, they were there last week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Planning and zoning. Do we want planning and zoning to come in? They're down overall. Why are they down?
legal. Less legal fights.
Anticipated legal fights.
Is planning and zoning going to have to do with the,
Positive thinking group. Hmm,
is it going to have to do with the low income housing?
planning and zoning? Not really.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing?
Yeah,
Not really, I don't think. I don't know, Tom.
Not really.
I don't know what planning and zoning would, where they would get too entangled with that,
okay.
but I don't know. I mean, that's a question for the planning and zoning chair.
What
Because he would
is,
have
what
the
is P and Z, ZEO?
the
Zoning
zoning,
enforcement officer.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what, I'm sorry, I don't know what they do.
He's one here that works for the, works for the town, but really works directly with the Planning and Zoning Commission. He goes out, looks at violations, may write up a report for the commission to act upon. He's here for questions when people bring their plans in. He's supposed to
He's here
know the
on Wednesday.
regulations pretty well.
Right.
I always thought that's what the job of a building inspector, you know, he's the one that goes out and does the inspections
It's
and,
for building though. This is the zoning part of it.
okay.
If someone wants to put a 500
Yep.
propane tank on their property.
Yep.
They have setbacks,
Yeah, oh, I
you
know.
know, all that, pools, everything, you know.
what's his hours now and was he increasing to?
Well, he's not really, he's anticipating some increases. He can work up to 20 hours. He's working about 12 per week.
Okay, he's hourly,
He's hourly, yeah.
union?
Yep.
So if we put in if we give him, go to the 500, the 22.5,
He's covered.
that will be adjusted, he'll be adjusted with,
Yeah, they'll cover whatever may come.
okay.
That's good.
Yeah, it's the type of job where it was put in, you know, for so many hours in the contract. And that amount of work just is not there. So he's been working, coming in 5 days a week, like 2 hours every morning. And then he does his monthly meetings too at nighttime. And he does work more than 2 hours some days. He'll be here until noon.
But how about that we've been under with his percentage that he gets on each project he does? We've
He's
been,
talking-
What do you mean?
Inspector, I think. She's done.
Is
The,
that the building inspector?
you're in the
Yeah.
building inspector. All right, we're on planning and the zoning
oh,
enforcement
I'm
officer.
sorry. I thought you were talking about the,
Yeah.
the-
Okay,
I think we're good, right?
Yep.
town planners up.
They hired a person, Janelle Mullen, to work with them on helping with drafting with regulations, working through all the different like agribusiness they've been working on quite a bit. Affordable housing, they just recently went through that. Got cannabis coming up very shortly, I imagine, as a land use. So she assists them with the technical part of the regulations.
So that's the
So, and
the
we
major increases
Mhm.
with the town planner.
So the line item that looks kind of wacky is the legal fees. So that's gone from 12 down to 5.
Yeah.
Does that cover us or not?
I asked them multiple times, I said, are you sure about this? Because, you know, zoning, you end up getting a lot of different, well, just legal opinions from the
Right.
land use attorney. There's a lot of that. But they felt that should cover it.
I mean, this is, last year is what they spent.
Last year, we were involved in a few different things.
They
And
think
those have
that's
settled and
Yes, they have gone away. They did just, we'll be seeing about, I think, a $3,000 check for liens they put on to a property here in Morris. It was in violation. They're about set to collect that money too, so. But yeah,
and that goes to pay the legal fees or that goes to the general fund or?
there's the general fund. Back into the big bucket. Or just disappear.
So the reason why I'm asking about that is the whole cannabis thing. I mean, is there going to be a lot of legal opinions on that? And
Yeah, they're gonna reach out to the land use attorney.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Something going on.
But again, I asked them multiple times. I said, are you guys sure this is enough for you? Because what took up most of the other money were those cases. Right.
taking over for Tracy. Can't really touch the salary part, right?
No, increases, she had mileage and professional development. She has a clerk assistant there who is going for certification, and it will be, the cost of the courses and also traveling to Yukon for the courses. That's why those two line items went up. Is there anything else? Our meetings and dues went up slightly. Computer support, they're locked in with what they have to have. That went up a little bit.
What did they have for mileage? They had 31 cents per mile.
Now it should be up around 56 or something.
I think it's 58.5. Yeah, I thought I saw 31. That's fine.
We're good here?
Their collection rate right now is really good.
It's a great job.
Yeah, I'll do all that.
What, copy and paste?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Now, this is where the cutting begins.
Treasury?
Yeah.
We'll fill in when treasury and financial clerk pay time.
So when they would go on vacation or sick for a while, someone has to come in.
Okay.
Rick is there.
Was this a deputy treasurer you pointed to?
Yeah.
No, it's so hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah.
Getting late too.
So it's gone from,
I guess, I don't know, down.
micro fund. I'm not sure what that.
That's the system. Rick, can you pipe in? That's the system they use to further tracking of all the financials.
Yeah, so they go up that's our financial system. They go up 5.5% every year. So every year it's gonna go up $300-400.
Right. This one just.
Payroll, that's to run our payroll system.
It's flat.
Yeah, but not compared to what it was, right?
That was just that's what they actually used.
Yeah, that we're gonna spend the 6,400 this year. This year's what was approved in this year's budget is actually accurate.
Because it was before only 4,000 4,500 or 4,400, right?
Actually, they made a change during the system, during the year prior, Tom, right? Something, and we paid it out of Board of Finance, I mean,
Yeah, we're good on the tax collector.
Oh, I think that was that part of the clock?
yeah, so you guys, we upgraded.
Yep.
And the money came out of, I believe, the Board of Selectmen supplies, but it really could have moved over to this one.
But
So this year-
a clock is a one-time purchase, or do you lease the clock?
The
Through
clock
ADP.
is,
Go ahead.
our clocks now are more efficient, less handwriting, more trustworthy with the finger clock ends. So it's less of people handwriting stuff in and questioning if it's true or not. They actually have to be there with their finger to get in and out of work.
Unless you got the dummy finger.
Yeah.
Who's got one of those?
Being a smart ass.
Okay. I know I missed part of this. Was everybody good with this, or is there any changes?
I don't think there's a cuttable item there, really, right? That's good.
Oh, my tabs.
You're going backwards.
No, you can call me tab. Bear with me. I'm coloring the tab, so I know I did that.
Oh, gotcha.
You think I can keep track of this by memory?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Board of Health. That was a big one.
Gonna color the treasurer.
In the wetlands. This is not a huge budget. It's pretty much the exact same as it was last year.
Well, but my concern, not concern, but question is if it's 1,300 and we want 7,800.
What, where?
So adjusted was 1,375.
Oh. Did they have an inspector last year?
No, they're in search of a wetlands enforcement officer.
Okay, so the 4,058
Mhm.
would be to cover a position that's not filled. So they could fill it theoretically by July 1st, and that's what it would cost. Or the inland wetlands, like,
Yeah, I know, but I would hope the hell you wouldn't pay him $4,000 for a month.
no, starting July 1st for the year.
whole
Oh,
year.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's one of those things like, we don't know when they're gonna fill the position.
Yeah.
Didn't.
When and
Because
if,
Kip asked, and that they only spent 1,375.
right,
So why do we would we fund the 4,000?
right,
It's
right.
an open position.
Yeah,
Currently, they're at 71% of their budget used this year.
That's,
okay.
that's the adjusted right now.
That's last year.
Right.
That's,
No, currently this year, they're spent.
so they have legal fees, professional services.
So they've gone way over on their legal fees, yes?
They are up right now, I believe.
That budget.
So legal fees is 1,000.
Still 1,000.
They're asking for 1,000. I mean, they're up right now,
Current fiscal year.
current fiscal year.
Do we know what that's all about or?
Yeah, 2 cases, I think, or maybe 3. that they're working.
Are these things that they kind of saw coming, or was it popped up and maybe we should adjust this one because
I think
this is
Mike
new?
Doyle should, he has to talk to you, really.
You guys want to have them in, or what do you
I
think?
think we probably should if there's a question here, you know.
It's $1,000. I just want to make sure that we're covered.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And you can also talk to the inspector.
Inspector that they don't have.
Right, well, you want to, yeah, put that,
Well, he
a
could-
note on that too, Tracy.
Oh, when they think they're
Yeah,
gonna hire them, or,
Right.
okay.
So how much are they up on their
What, right now?
legal fees? No, what inland wetlands, wherever we.
Four
On the current
thousand
one?
one hundred and $37.42.
Put some 3,000 over. Zoning Board of Appeals.
That's a lot of money for supplies, geez.
What?
A whole walloping $10.
Yeah,
I know.
pencils.
That's what I was gonna
And-
say.
and,
Very cheap pencils.
Yeah,
And a legal pad.
yeah, maybe.
I think we're keeping the line open is what we're doing, but
So again, the legal fees.
They just came off a prolonged case, I guess you call it, that has been settled. That was also what's keeping zoning legal there too. That case is done. Okay. There's nothing on the horizon for ZBA.
okay, then they're probably.
So they most probably won't be using all of that $12,000.
Well, this year,
Yeah, so it says the appropriation is 12,000 and they've used 4,037, right? And you say that the whole thing's finished.
This year, they are currently year-to-date expenditure for legal fees is $8,435.
What am I looking at? I see we're at ZBA legal fees, right?
What date is your document?
Okay, see, Tom's looking at the actual document,
oh, we're
the
looking. yeah.
spreadsheet right now that,
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah.
yeah. She's
Yeah,
looking
I
at
thought you were
this.
referring back
The
to,
adjusted is last fiscal year,
right,
actual.
that's,
I'm talking year-to-date now. this
Yeah.
fiscal year.
right, Tom was looking at the year to date, that's what we were
So
asking
we
about.
don't have that on the spreadsheet.
No, you have. the
No, because you
actual
never
from the
keep up
previous-
with it.
So I mean, there's
We do
actually a
get-
$3,000 window right now, the way you kind of roughly 3,000. or-
30.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could ask
Yeah.
Rick, well, he sends it electronically, I could put that up next time.
Yeah.
So we know where we're at if you wanted to go. It gets a little confusing because it's hard to reference current year sometimes with a lot of things because of the way some of the expenditures are. And
When they
it's
come in.
deceiving. But, I mean, I could make sure I have it available so I can pop it up if we wanted to look at it. Is everybody good there? GBA?
Mm,
All right, did make it. Town clerk.
I think she changed one bit.
Not one time.
Right to
Well-
the penny, Henny.
GG penny.
But all these are
Yeah, because we don't know the salaries.
salaries, right?
Well, yeah, we're just. That, we're gonna throw that back in contingency. We're gonna throw money in contingency for a few things. There's nothing, I mean, the town clerk is pretty flat.
Yeah.
You can't even account the Sue Jean, you can't carry her over because you don't know what her salary is gonna be.
I'm just trying to, we're gonna go,
Could you have the,
we're gonna go put these numbers in for the budget. 'Cause
Okay,
we're gonna
okay,
do a
okay.
budget.
Okay,
We're not gonna wait for them to deal with the union and whatever they're into. So what we're gonna do is, these numbers, we've done this in the past, and there's no real good way around it. We're just gonna carry the number over from last year. Then what we do is we fund contingency,
on the makeup of the difference of the salaries.
Correct.
right? And it'll be a guessing game. We're gonna have to fund contingency to cover when that contract comes in.
Yep,
So
Do we have an anticipated?
I was
date
just
for
gonna
that?
say, I was gonna ask the same question, Tom.
Do we have a
Anticipated.
Wow. Anticipated date.
You think? No, because we haven't really sat down yet.
And you have until when on your union contract?
30th,
Oh,
you know.
go right to the
I'd
deadline.
Last
love to
year
be
when-
done by
Yeah.
May 30th at the latest.
I think last time they went somewhere into October.
Yeah.
It was quite a long, lengthy. thing, so- And what they do is then it's, you know, they get it retroactive and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the only way we can move forward with the budget is just to,
Just carry it over and then we'll deal with it later, I guess.
well, we put it in contingency and then
Mhm.
that's when Rick will come in with a list and he'll make that transfer so that they all get funded, whatever. Assessor,
Same deal there, right?
Didn't the mileage go up by 300, double? Which I understand if it has, but I thought it was 350. And now it's 600.
not in the last 2 years.
It's been 600 for the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that seems
What's
to have
up?
gone up is the computer expense.
That's where they're paying, one of the companies, I think it's Vision, is charging them for cloud storage now. And she's able, since she works in 3 towns, to work with those companies to reduce the cost as much as possible. That's great. She does what she can to keep the costs down for, Morris is such a small town. And she used to work in Woodbridge. I think she works in Shellen. So. Derby.
Now we get into the bigger ones. Community hall, this was lots about. Fairly flat.
Oh, internet, yeah.
So internet what?
Seeing where it went up is internet.
So is that, can you do the same thing the fire department did with it?
Yeah, Rob showed me. All right.
What happened there is we were paying Optimum here and over at the firehouse. And we got on as an internet service provider through CEN. And the library's on it, the town hall's on it, and we pay one fee. But because we're on it now, the town hall and the library, firehouse gets a much reduced cost. In fact, it'll probably get down to almost zero once we have the equipment in place for you. So that's kind of nice. It's supposed to be quicker, better, and all that, and less outages too, because it's on a loop with the fiber optic. So
Mhm.
when end goes out, comes back in the other way, you still have internet. And it's gonna be cheaper than Optimum.
Optimum is ridiculous.
And they just
Oh,
charge you whatever
Literally.
yeah,
Literally.
with great service.
yeah, right.
General government is kind of big. Do we want to try to go through this tonight or table this one? And go through the rest of the smaller ones?
Stable it. Let's go through
Can we
small one.
I'll stay then. Thank you, I'm tired.
Yeah, we all are.
We're gonna table, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay.
What's the total
that's
on
an
that one?
enthusiastic boy. What?
What was the total on that?
The
Just
total on this one?
400?
401,000.
Yeah, let's take that.
This is what now?
Yeah,
What did we just table? Community?
General government.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make the note here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Tom goes over it. I think in general government too is the election. If this is what,
Part of my budget, yeah.
and the registrars wanted to come in and talk about it too. So maybe we'll do that all in one sit down. Board of Health. These are some of our charities in here.
What's that top line?
I was just gonna ask the same thing, Board of Health, what?
Torrance County Health District, there are sanitation engineers for the town of Morris. We're part of I don't know, how many towns? 9.
I'll
So
make it big.
that district.
And here we go with the Greenwoods Foundation.
Are we gonna have them in?
Greenwoods?
See, I'm
Sorry.
objected to the $5,000. I'm gonna be open and honest about that right away.
Yeah, what's the Greenwood Foundation?
It's a place where you can go if you feel that you have not just a drug addiction, if you've got other issues that they will refer you to a counselor. You know, or let's say if you're a rape victim or whatever the case may be, you can go to Greenwoods. There again, they're going to refer you to a counsel service.
Actually, they do their own in-house counseling. Whatever they cannot do there, they will.
They do fish out that. I can tell, I'm just saying, because I've been there. I mean, I can honestly say that.
A lot of people.
Not afraid to say that.
Go there, children, adults, like she said, not just addiction, family matters
But
across the board. And
I'm just, from my own personal experience, I'm saying they also ask you when you go in the door for your insurance card. So they do bill your insurance company. They sit there and they talk with you, and then they refer you to whatever they feel is the best counsel service for, right. So to me, my suggestion is you cut that puppy in half.
Or you could have the director, John Simon Sully, come and actually explain exactly what they do,
Well,
which would be a lot clearer.
well, I'm sure it would be, but I mean, it's just my experience with them is you cut it in half because, like I said, they do bill your insurance company.
Okay. Carrie, are you still there, Carrie?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I don't understand why we're giving money to it at all, because it's basically triage for people with different problems. And there's insurance for that. There's Medicaid for that. They have this place is a medical place, and it's not even in our town. So yeah, I'm totally against it. I feel every case, I just am, the reason you want people to be generous is because they're not giving everything into taxes. And I kind of feel that with our taxes, that it's hard-earned money by everybody in the town, and then to distribute everyone's hard-earned money to do things that we think are good is it's why we've gotten to the point we've gotten to in the federal government. The government isn't supposed to do so much. And so I'm on the side of cutting and deciding myself what I want to give to.
No, like I said, to me, I suggest the cutting of it in half. I mean, I went there when I was dealing with, a terminally ill husband and the loss of my little brother. They sent me to a shrink who spent 5 minutes with me and said, "Oh, you need this prescription." And I'm like, "I'm not here because I want drugs. I'm here because you're supposed to talk to me." Well, 5 minutes, I was out the door. And then she billed my insurance company $200 after I paid $45. So.
I'd like to know more about this.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the guy come in. If he's here for 5 minutes or 20 minutes.
Let me, I can get a hold of him and let me know when.
Okay. What about the rest of these?
I think the rest are probably.
The rest of
Yeah, the press are fine.
I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but Susan B. Anthony doesn't sit in Morris either.
No,
It's not where they sit, it's who they serve.
that's right.
I'm just pointing out
That
the argument.
that goes through Susan Banthony, Fish, Greenwoods, Friendly Hands Food Bank, and everyone else up there.
But see, the thing,
Service people way out of Torrington or Litchfield.
No, it's just-
right, but I mean, when you stop and look at it, you're looking at Susan B. Anthony, who are only going to fund with $2,000 as opposed to wanting to give Greenwoods $5,000.
We do get a request from these different organizations every year, and that is what the request is.
May turn out too that after the guy from Greenwich comes in, we give him more than 5,000.
Well, I would be, boy, I'd be just I know
No.
us right away. They'd be right
No,
there.
that's why it's good to have them come in.
How would we played with last week?
He's a
Was it
little out of control,
insurance?
but that's all right.
What's up?
Oh, Rick, you want to talk about LoSiP?
Yeah. Yeah, so LoSiP needs to actually go up, so, which doesn't mean anything because it's gonna go up on the revenue side also.
What's it good going to?
I think it needs to go to 45,000. So I mean, this is money that the state's holding for us to use. We're using it on the generator at the school.
Oh, at the town hall.
Oh, I'm sorry, the town hall.
So 45,000 from LoSiP for the town hall generator, and it's a LoSiP.
No, it's not 45,000 just for the generator.
No,
It's
that's,
generator and
so we
other
paid-
projects.
yeah, with other projects also. But also, you have to go to the revenue page and change that to 45,000. It's just a wash.
To sell.
When it goes through LoSiP, you don't have to have a town hall meeting because it's gone over 20,000?
No,
The hell is right.
I think because it's coming from the government anyway, and it's just money being spent.
yeah, honestly, I don't even like it in this budget, to be honest with you, because it's really not an 01 account. It's a grant.
Take the money out of the 01 account and then get the money back in. I mean, the money comes out of 01 account.
Before you get the money from LoSiP.
I could create a fund for it. It's line 24,
Line 24.
23, I'm sorry, 23. So change that to 45,000.
There's money coming in.
Money coming into.
Yeah, so no, you have to pay for it, then they reimburse you.
Right.
Insurance is 210,000.
Is that your what, your property insurance? You mean you're just your
Liability.
general liability
General
insurance?
line.
Yeah.
And I think that's cyber also, right, Tom?
Well, yeah, that's workman's comp, liability, auto, property, and cyber.
Yeah, we had to increase cyber this year.
What was the increase in cyber? How much, do you know?
We're starting with a brand new policy, hopefully, once we're ready. It could be 24,000
For liability with cyber?
for cyber.
So the liability
Very difficult to get
cyber,
companies to write it. Well, you can.
Write
get it-
cyber?
You can pay whatever you want to pay.
right through there.
That's 24,000 over and above what you're talking that's there now already.
No, that's the 110. Because
Oh.
it went up from 83,000 to 110. But you said this includes workers' comp?
Yep.
And we don't break them apart. So really, this is a couple of different policies, correct?
All under one company.
Yeah, but
different policies.
do you have,
Workman's comp, it's liability, it's auto, it's property, and cyber.
Okay, that's actually nice to know because that's a lot of, oh,
right,
did everybody get that? That's like 5 different
Yeah.
policies in one. I think it just
Like your,
makes a big difference for me.
So
that one
basically-
liability policy with cyber, knowing that it's workers' comp, auto,
right,
the whole month, the whole
enchilada.
commercial.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, we're definitely looking around different companies for cyber. We just had a big meeting up at Litchfield Inn 2 weeks ago or so to talk about it, what we can do to help hopefully keep our costs down with that. But National Guard was there. They have a special cybersecurity division, I guess you would call it, that are monitoring it for the state of Connecticut. We get emails every day on the attacks that are coming in, which really ramped up with this whole Russian-Ukraine thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting towns, cities, states are getting hammered, so. Luckily, we haven't.
Tom, did you see on that, is it true that the Bradley Airport was,
They were attacked.
they were attacked.
Yes,
I was at the airport that day.
Oh,
Yeah, and
You're lucky.
coincidence.
it was horrible. It was horrible. And when my husband told me what he heard, I thought it wasn't true,
Yeah,
but it was. Wow.
It's important things in life.
What?
Bring home pasta sauce. It's important things in life. Miscellaneous selectmen.
transit, rural transit, I went over this, but that 768 hasn't gone up in probably 18 years. And part of what the Northwest Transit District, which is rural transit, they are supposed to collect 15% of the revenue from municipalities that are part of the district. And they have a new executive director that's really looking into the financials there. And this is what they've discovered is they've been kind of undercharging all the municipalities that are part of that. Torrington is about 50% of the whole cost or what they collect from the towns, but that would be our part. And that's the bus you see generally on Thursdays, plus they do all the senior trips for them too.
At $1,200 is kind of a bargain.
Yeah, I do want to see, I'm on the board of directors for that, and I really want to see them get the word out a lot better in the town of Morris that this service is available. It's not just for people like 65 and older, it's for anyone. And I think we need to utilize it more, or at least let people know it's here.
Yeah, oh,
People
definitely.
don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and you had a bus with like 3 seats filled.
yeah,
I mean, they take you what, into Torrington or Litchfield or wherever?
yeah. There's one lady that goes to the Y, they drop her off,
Mhm.
bring the other guy to the shopping, come back, pick up the lady.
Yep, yep.
It's a good service, just needs to be utilized more.
Tom, is this a service? So let's say to go to the hospital?
I think they'll do doctor's appointments. I'm not,
They'll do
they
like
have to go to the hospital.
Medicab.
for-
Yeah.
But it's a doctor appointment in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can use that service, I think.
I believe so.
Oh, wow. What is it called?
Maybe another one.
Well, there's a
Does
Medicab, I
Candy
think.
Striper do the doctor's appointments, do you know, or?
Yeah, that's one of the hard parts of, especially the older people, to try to remember to pick up an appointment that the same day the
Bus
bus
is running, yeah.
So
runs.
it's only on a Thursday here in
That's
town.
very confusing.
I think if you call in,
There is a
Definitely a
service.
They come to your house or do you have to go to?
they go to the house.
Yeah.
We have a gentleman who's blind who takes it every Thursday for all his trips that he has to go through.
There is a service if you need to go to a medical appointment. I think you have to do at least 24 hours notice, and I'm trying to think of what it is, and I don't remember. But it's any day.
Tracy, if you remember, will you email me that, please?
Yeah, I'm completely at a loss right now, but if I remember, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's like one of the social services out of Torrington. And I'm trying to think, I want to say Medicab, but I don't think that's exactly the name. But, you call them in advance because they have limited drivers, but I'll try to remember what it is.
Yeah, because I've seen it, and each time I ask the nurses at the hospital, how do you get involved with this? No one knows. They just know patients get dropped off and picked up.
So the tree thing there,
The trees are still
is
trees.
that going to be enough or?
He felt it was.
Yeah.
That's Kyle Rosenbeck.
Yeah.
He's our tree warden.
Who actually does the tree work?
They utilize who's the company? Remember now,
Apples.
Stepples. And they work with Stepples. They'll have like 2 of our guys working with them, chipping and all that. Stepples will be taking down the trees. We may get our loader in there if it's the big stuff and remove all that. But they work with the tree company to do that.
What happened with all the wood on your lawn, Dave?
It's been going. I mean, are you interested in it or?
No. The big logs that you had there, all of a sudden it was poof, I was there.
Oh, I called the town several times, town of Litchfield, because that's Litchfield, that
Oh,
portion over there. And I complained for a long time.
no, I'm talking about what was right on your front lawn.
That was a long time ago, I
It
think.
was just a couple of months back.
On my front lawn,
Yeah,
I don't remember any trees there.
you had a bunch of trees taken down.
I was in Florida. It could have been.
No. Well, okay, I mean, they took a whole bunch of trees down just,
Oh, on the right, the left of my driveway? Oh, I had them take it down.
Oh.
I.
company took and hauled them away.
Yeah, I had a company come and do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Civil division,
Can't do much.
nothing we can do about it because this is gonna change when salaries change. How many more is left?
You're almost done. Wow.
Well, we got 5 more.
I mean, where's everybody want to feel? We wanna,
I make a motion, please.
is everybody tired? Does everybody feel
Well, it's-
good? You wanna
it's
keep pushing or you wanna be
2 minutes to 9.
2 minutes to 9? What, we,
I say 9 o'clock, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
then
then
it's
let's-
time, we
all right.
might as well make a
we made
motion.
a lot of,
Yeah, quit before Board of Selectmen say. Just
1 minute.
1 minute, Phil said. He has a.
all right, well, we have to do minutes.
We held on to Carrie for quite a while.
Is she gone now?
No, she's
She go?
still
She's
here.
still there.
Did she disappear?
I'm here.
She's home.
All
right. Yeah, she is in her PJs. Okay, so, just quickly. What?
Joel, have a question.
Hold on, we're not
Yeah.
there yet.
Joel's got a question.
We're not there
We're
yet.
there.
Oh,
We're running out of time.
Transfer station,
I thought we were stopping at that.
senior center.
Oh,
Do we need to?
But
have a
she's coming
transfer
in.
station bid?
How about highway department? Are they coming in?
they
Saw
did.
them last week, missed them.
The big thing with transfer
Oh.
station was the tipping fees, which there's nothing we can
There's
do.
nothing we can do.
We're very fortunate where we are.
Yeah, if anybody thinks it's easy to like get the hold these people last minute, so do we need the transfer station in? or
I
is
say
everybody-
no.
Okay, good. That's what I
There's
wanted to
nothing
know.
they can cut, right?
Hmm.
There's
They're
nothing
pretty
to-
lean. I mean, they're,
It's kind of a budget that it is what it is.
Right.
yeah, the tipping fees.
We got trash. We gotta get rid of.
We got trash that's gotta go, but I mean, they're pretty tight. They're not a department that
Right.
usually has. things. So we have meeting minutes. Somebody want to make the motion to approve
Last.
the April 7th?
Well, go ahead. Somebody make a motion. I can't do that. I made the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
There you go.
make the
Carrie's
motion.
making the motion to, except for she wasn't here.
we go.
No,
Oh,
Carrie can't make the
I
motion.
read
then.
them.
Okay.
I read them.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes of April, whatever it was, 7th. I can't even remember. I made the motion that we accept the minutes of the meeting of April 7th.
Is there a second?
I second.
Dave seconded. You writing this down?
Oh. You got me so flustered, I forgot.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you want to meet next week? You want me to change it to a special meeting at 8 o'clock?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we. Unless you don't want to do it, but I think it would be beneficial to hear. that-
What happened?
No, we do too.
Yeah,
And
I mean-
reconvene just
Yeah.
quickly for, I don't know, half an hour.
It's,
Maybe go through another tab or
maybe we
something.
can hit tab.
Okay.
I'm not gonna invite, I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna get more people into the mix of trying to come in or not. So we'll just have a meeting for us.
Okay.
Kristen she's
Right.
busy that night anyways. She's got voting safety or something.
Thought that was Wednesday. She couldn't make the Wednesday meeting for
Told me
our.
Thursday she couldn't make it.
Because you change, I don't know, but I mean, I don't, we can finish up what we have to do and then
Okay.
next week.
So next Thursday, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. I'll call for a special meeting at 8. And we'll try to
Yeah,
knock off some things, but keep it quick and then
and nobody coming in.
and nobody coming in, yeah. Okay,
You got me really confused there for a second when she said nobody's coming in. Like, what the hell are we all gonna show up for?
That's like Wednesday, Thursday. Voting safety is that.
oh, it's
Go
multiple
through a
nights.
couple tabs.
Yeah, I know. I just was like.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Can I just ask, so
Oh, well,
next,
I'm sorry, I'm ignoring the public comment completely. Public comment, Carrie. go ahead.
And
no,
Joel's
I
got his
just have
hand
a
up.
question about
John's hand
next
up.
week. Just
What
next
about-
week, 8 o'clock on Zoom only.
No,
No,
What do you mean on Zoom only?
I thought you
Hands
said
up.
we're not coming in.
No, I
No,
said
no.
I wasn't calling in other departments.
Calling in, I see. Okay, sorry.
Because I'm gonna call for a special meeting at 8, but there's an ARPA committee meeting at 6.
Right.
So, we think we'll be good at 8, but we may not be. I don't know. So we're gonna try to meet after that ARPA meeting and just get some feedback.
Okay.
All right.
We got it, Joel.
Go ahead, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so I had two quick questions on capital. The $120,000 for the school generator, does that include the 52,000 that the Region 6 had put back in for it?
So that should be 170
I
some odd
believe
thousand.
it does it? I think it was because we talked about 70,000 from, and the fees too. Rick, you still here?
No, he left a long
No,
time
he's
ago.
right there.
That's
There he
okay,
is.
it was just because I
No,
know
Rick's
they,
here. Hold
He's
on.
Rick's here.
Rick.
Again, I think the money you guys are talking about was, if this is prior to me getting here, and Nancy said it was never moved into an account. The Region 6 dollar, I believe that's the one you guys are talking about.
But we
It's
did,
actually in your general fund.
I mean, I guess it's all the same in the wash because
So why were we told?
put 170,000 into capital.
right, but you have.
No, I
120
think, I think
you
what
have
he's
120,000.
asking, I think Region
We
6,
never put in a special fund.
correct. It was
Plus
never.
it went
put
into
a
general.
special fund.
Okay, so
So
but
that
it's,
money's
but
absorbed in
I got booted out.
in your fund balance.
it went to a
You
capital
you lost
project,
me.
right?
You got lost.
Who,
Oh,
no,
no,
I'm
there I am.
not.
I'm back again.
So I believe the Region 6 money was a couple years back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's correct, right? So I think, speaking to Nancy, there was never a motion to create, they designated it to get a generator. But since there was no account to move the money into, it's actually in your fund balance. That money's in your fund balance.
But
It's,
we,
there's
all-
no such, there's no open money in that account, an account for that.
there's no account for it, but we funded through capital
Correct, the
a
120.
generator for the school.
Correct.
Correct.
So it's kind of
So in theory, you have $172,000.
It has to come out of the capital funding if you want to use it for the generator.
no,
No, I believe the
Oh.
total generator cost 120 and that money's in the 120.
right.
I mean, Tom, right, isn't it 120, the generator?
That's what was approved.
120 last year for the JMS generator. And that's done deal. That money's cast in stone. It's not going anywhere else. Was a last year project approved.
Okay, now my other question was on the Bantam Lake Authority. You said there was just a placeholder setting and it's $50 for that particular line item.
That's what I got as far as the Bantam Lake Authority.
Yep, okay,
That's
that was all the question.
information.
That's all I had.
Yeah, that's all we have on it is the $50. Anybody else?
Nope.
Nope.
I make a motion, we close the meeting.
I second.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
All right.
The